Welcome to episode 61 of the Unbuckling the Bible Belt podcast. I'm your host, Sharon Bush.
And I'm your co-host, Kate the Bluegrass Skeptic.
And this is Adam Fusen.
And tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about our favorite secular, atheist, agnostic, Hollywood superstars that just do it for us, that make us happy. Do you guys have a list of people ready?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I've got my cannot live withouts.
Yeah, I have some pretty good people, too, I can't wait to talk about. Then we're going to be talking about Reason Rally. Unfortunately, none of us were able to go, but I think we all live vicariously through pictures and blogs of our friends who did go, so we were going to wrap that up a little bit.
I have reacted, the whole new React feature on Facebook. I think I've reacted with more hearts this week than I have since they first came up with this stupid thing. I've just loved what I've been seeing out there. It's been nice.
And then to wrap up our night, we're going to leave a message for baby Kendick.
Oh, Joe's baby's finally arrived.
His spawn has landed on the planet.
I think Kate said it's going to be a experiment in nihilism and parenting.
Yeah, right? Because, he's always going on about what a nihilist he is. I was thinking to myself the other day about that and just... How do you parent and be a nihilist? I don't know. So,
well, he's going to find out. I'm just happy that Joe finally let his own dick get the best of him. Because this will be awesome watching this happen.
Oh yeah, this is going to be good for him. I think most parenting experiences are good for people. They really are. We already know he's a very caring and empathetic person. So, it'll be interesting to see how he handles a little girl putting him in his place.
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to rule his world.
Oh yeah. It'll be hilarious.
All right. That'll do it for tonight, folks. We'll see you in a little while.
Hang on. Let's get it going.
Heck yeah.
Ow. Welcome back to Unbuckling the Bible Belt. We're going to talk about some of our favorite entertainers, and there's really no place else to start off with as far as anybody who's secular or atheist or agnostic. Then there's no other word to call him, but he is a prophet unto himself, and that is the late George Carlin.
Oh my, yes.
And yes, he's one of my favorites.
He's like a staple almost of the atheist community when it comes to entertainment, because like you said, he's like a prophet in a way too. He really does tie in the message of irreligious belief and whatnot in with his comedy so well.
Oh, absolutely. If I think back, then I could probably pinpoint the time I started questioning some major factors of religion after seeing some George Carlin shows as a kid. And that's probably way back when in the mid-'90s when we first got cable out in the backwoods of Tennessee.
I can remember the first time I read George Carlin, I was like, wow, a light bulb just went on for me. I was already questioning everything, and I read him, and it was like amazing. Somebody else thinks the way that I think. This is unbelievable. So,
yeah, I kind of place him up on the same pedestal. I hate to place people on pedestals, but as far as being a fanboy or something, he's right up there. There's George Carlin and maybe Christopher Hitchens sitting on the same shelf.
Oh wow, yeah. You know what? And they both are very well with the way they get the message across, but very different media styles. You're right, but they're equally, they're really. I could see why you'd see it that way. I could almost agree, really. Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to lead off into the famous clip of George Carlin, and it's one of my faves. And if there's anybody new that's listening that still has questions or whatnot, let this guy break it down for you. And there's plenty of other people out there that can help you break it down as well. and this is the way it rolls. This is one of my favorite entertainers of all time, Mr. George Carlin.
I want you to know something. This is sincere. I want you to know, when it comes to believing in God, I really tried. I really tried. I tried to believe that there is a God who created each of us in his own image and likeness, loves us very much, and keeps a close eye on things. I really tried to believe that, but I got to tell you, the longer you live, the more you look around, the more you realize something is fucked up. Something is wrong here. War, disease, death, destruction, hunger, filth, poverty, torture, crime, corruption, and the ice capades. Something is definitely wrong. This is not good work. If this is the best God can do, I am not impressed. Results like these do not belong on the resume of a supreme being. This is the kind of shit you'd expect from an office temp with a bad attitude. And just between you and me, in any decently run universe, this guy would have been out on his all-powerful ass a long time ago. And by the way, I say this guy because I firmly believe, looking at these results, that if there is a God, it has to be a man. No woman could or would ever fuck things up like this. If there is a God, I think most reasonable people might agree that he's at least incompetent and maybe, just maybe, doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit, which I admire in a person and which would explain a lot of these bad results. So rather than be just another mindless religious robot, mindlessly and aimlessly and blindly believing that all of this is in the hands of some spooky, incompetent father figure who doesn't give a shit, I decided to look around for something else to worship, something I could really count on. And immediately, I thought of the sun. Happened like that. Overnight, I became a sun worshiper. Well, not overnight. You can't see the sun at night. But first thing the next morning, I became a sun worshiper. Several reasons. First of all, I can see the sun. Okay? Yeah. Unlike some other gods I could mention, I can actually see the sun. I'm big on that. If I can see something, I don't know, kind of helps the credibility along, you know? So every day I can see the sun as it gives me everything I need: heat, light, food, flowers in the park, reflections on the lake, an occasional skin cancer. But hey, at least there are no crucifixions, and we're not setting people on fire simply because they don't agree with us.
That was Mr. George Carlin, and we're going to step it up with a few other of my favorite entertainers. Let's see, who's next? Kate or Sharon?
I'll go. My favorite atheist entertainer has to be Keira Knightley. She is so well-spoken and so adamant in her beliefs. She doesn't mind stepping out there and saying, you know, it's okay to be an atheist. You know, it would be better if I wasn't an atheist, because then all I'd have to do is ask to be forgiven and I wouldn't have to deal with guilt. But, you know, it's perfectly cool to be an atheist. And she's, you know, a really popular actress right now. So it's good that atheism gets that kind of endorsement from somebody that popular.
And the fact that, you know, again, she's a new and upcoming face too. Maybe over the last 5 or 6 years, she's really put her face to the atheist movement, I think. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot more quotes.
I think so too.
Yeah, she's really held no punches at all about it. She's tactful, but it's pretty clear where she's coming from.
Yeah, and she makes no bones about it. She doesn't try to hide anything or, you know, just play it off as, I'm just irreligious, I'm not necessarily an atheist. She steps right out there and says, you know, I'm an atheist. Right. And then another one of my favorite, well, anybody from the 80s and 90s has to love this guy. Anybody who grew up in the 80s or 90s. Kevin Bacon. He's another...
oh, yeah, he's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, he's another atheist. And
He sings, doesn't he? Doesn't he have a band?
I'm not sure if he has a band or not.
No, I think he plays in a band, actually. I don't know how... Yeah, he does, actually, because I've seen him on the Late Show before.
Yeah, does he?
Yeah, he's got a band.
Oh,
I'll have to find you some videos for that so you can see it.
Hey, you just had me at bacon.
I think you have a lot of people at bacon.
Sausage.
Okay, we're talking about Kevin Bacon, and you're bringing up sausage.
Breakfast foods.
Man.
I'm all about the pork, baby.
Pork is good.
Well, Kevin Bacon said, I think there's a puritanical wind that is blowing. I've never seen such a lack of separation between church and state in America. I don't believe in God, but if I did, I would say that sex is a God-given right. Otherwise, it's the end of our species. That's my favorite quote from him.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's true. I mean, I really do like that about him. He stands up for a lot of the social equality causes, and we need more faces, standing up to that stuff. And,
right.
I mean, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, he stands up for being godless. He stands up for sex. He stands up for separation of church and state. How can you not like the guy?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's some movies, but no, I've
Kate,
always...
what about you? Who's yours?
Top of my list is Dylan Moran.
Top of your list.
Dylan Moran. For those who aren't familiar with Dylan Moran, are you all familiar with Simon Pegg movies?
Yes.
Yeah. Remember Paul, the one with the alien? A lot of people love that movie.
Yes, I love Paul.
He also did one called Fat Boy Run.
I haven't seen that one, but it sounds right.
It's really good. He's been in all kinds. I don't know how many of you have seen Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, I love Shaun of the Dead.
Remember the pacifist. Remember the guy who had the glasses? He was in love with Lizzie too.
Oh, yeah.
That's Dylan Moran.
Oh, okay.
Now, I know him best from a series on TV called Black Books. This series ran back in the early 2000s. And he basically was a really pissy, sardonic style of bookstore owner. Okay? And of course he's Irish, so he's done so much stand-up to it, and he's godless. He grew up Irish Catholic. So you can imagine all the stories he's got to talk about. I love his comedy so much. He's a comedian, he's a writer, he's an actor, of course, he's even a filmmaker. He's done so much, but his biggest thing is comedy. And I like how he can kind of poke fun at religion, call in the ridiculousness of belief and what it stands for. I think he related to believing in God as basically wanting to have a cookie, because the cookie will make you feel better. I love his humor. It's really good stuff. And I thought I'd play one of his sets right now regarding what God is really all about. And just, y'all got to hear this. It's great. I'm going to have a link to the whole set. It's like an hour and a half long. He's done 3 different version sets, and every one of them is just excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and play that now, and y'all can enjoy it for a couple of minutes. And hopefully you can understand through his accent. It's kind of thick.
Sweet. Here we go.
You see, but we need to believe something. And you're not allowed to believe in religion. Well, you can, but people will laugh at you and throw things. Because it was just sort of decided in the 20th century that religion is basically a formalized panic about death. That's all. I mean, look at the Catholic Church, the campest organization on the planet, with the purple robes, gold bits on the side, jewelry so big if they let it fall it will kill people. What else can it be but this sort of ritual of panic about death? Death is coming, quick, put on the gold hat. You see, people never really grow up. I don't mind most religious people. I talk to them, I listen to them banging on. I prayed very hard and then the fairy came. Did he? Good, have a biscuit. I only get annoyed when they try and make me see the fairy. You have to let the fairy into your heart. Look, I wouldn't let him into my garden, okay? I'd shoot him on sight if he existed, which he doesn't. Now have another bicky and be quiet, will you, please? But you can absolutely understand the desire to believe in something, to support you. I mean, children like to be supervised by adults. That's why children go, look, no hands, or look, I can do this, look, I'm really good at this, whatever it is. Because it validates them, it shows them that they are there, because somebody else is watching over them. Grown-ups are the same. Not that there is any such thing as a grown-up, really. They want to be, the idea of like to be watched by something, Because, the planet's not going to miss us when we finish fucking it up and killing each other. So we needed the idea of God to have somebody to miss us, or at least notice that we weren't there anymore, because we've all died out, because we fucked it up. And God could go, look, they're not there. The lizards are doing quite well, though. Good on them.
hope you all enjoyed that. I'm going to have links to the whole thing. That particular clip came from his tour called Monster. And then I forget what the name of the other, but I'll have links to all of his stuff, including Black Books. He actually makes a lot of statements in Black Books regarding religion and God. He also came up with one of my favorite little sayings, which is, whores will have their trinkets. I love his sense of humor. So, yeah, Dylan Moran for me is like number one. Number one. Love him to death.
Hey, what do you guys feel about Joe Rogan?
I kind of like him. Kind of.
I liked it. I liked it whenever he used to make people eat, like, bull penis all the time.
Have you ever seen a stand-up comedy, though?
It's really good, especially... Have you ever seen the skit where he's talking about how people are so busy looking down at the earth around how awesome it is? It's like, have you ever just looked up at the sky? At the stars?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And he does go into talking about how the explosion of stars and the nuclear fission that creates new elements, and nobody talks about this.
Yeah, I mean, he's an educator.
That's one of my favorite quotes.
He is an educator by far. I really do enjoy Joe Rogan on a lot of levels for that.
And then there's who else you got, Kate?
Ironically, I also have Bill Bailey, and he co-starred with Dylan Moran on Black Books. Black Books really had a stellar group of comedians. Bill Bailey's big in my book, though. He's an author, but
yeah, I love Bill.
Bill Bailey is fantastic. He's done one. I forget the name of the set. I'll have the whole thing up again. It's like an hour and a half long, but it's awesome. There's a point where he's like doing a demonstration of how we came up with Doubting Thomas, and he's going about putting your fingers into an open wound. It's just the logic behind it. It's hilarious. He totally just has so much fun with it. But yeah, I love Bill Bailey. He's kind of like Tim Minchin in a way. He does his own little songs and whatnot, but I don't think he's as talented in that department musically as Tim Minchin now. What about you, Sharon?
Yeah. Well, I've already done two of mine. My last one is John Malkovich. I just love that man. I fell in love with him when he was in The Three Musketeers. Do you remember that movie?
Oh, I know.
I fell in love with him. And found out he was raised Catholic, but he says he's either atheist or agnostic. He kind of vacillates between the two. He's not
that's fair.
100% sure.
That's fair.
Yeah. So
he's an interesting character. He's a little bit of an odd bird out there too.
Yeah, he is an odd, but that's why I like him, is because he's different.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched that movie Being John Malkovich?
Yes. I thought that was awesome.
That is a weird movie.
But it was good. I liked it.
Too weird for me.
It was weird. I like weird. Don't get me wrong.
But it's just trying to be able to follow along with it. It can get a little...
Hey, we got to give a shout out to one of our favorite new entertainers right here in the Bible Belt.
Oh, yeah. Who's that?
Mr. Trey Crowder. I love this guy. He is funny as fuck. I mean, I can't wait for this guy to come into Nashville and do a show. I'm really excited to see this dude.
I wonder if he's really as country as he portrays himself on those videos he puts out. Because he is really, really country. I mean, I know I have an accent, but he's way out there.
Well,
and I just wonder if it's real.
Anybody from the country can thicken it up a little bit. You hear me, young lady?
Oh, I can get down like that too, and just kind of throw it out there and go with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I try not to, though, when I can help it. Because, when you start putting on the accent, sometimes mine's so bad. You have the same problem where if you're using Facebook Messenger and you use that stupid little microphone option, and it only gets like half of what you said. Mine does that. It'll come up with the weirdest thing. I'll be talking about how I need to go to the store, and then somehow monkeys and ball bats in Paris come into it. I don't know how. So I hate using that if I can, but yeah, you can totally thicken it. I'm sure he kind of plays with it a little bit. And you know what, guys? I actually have a clip. So if anybody's not familiar with Trey Crowder, sorry.
Oh my God, missed it
I
up.
know, right? Then listen up.
It's not Chowder. It's Crowder.
Crowder. Okay, I think I got it. Well, I'm going to play a clip, and we're gonna have tons of links to all of his stuff as well. But yeah, I managed to get a small little clip we can play for you. It's one of his rants.
Okay, everybody, Kate's going to play with her small little clip, and we'll get it going for you.
Clip, not clipped. Clip.
You sure?
Positive. Trey doesn't get it going for me that much now. Come on. So anyway, here we go, folks. Enjoy a little sampling of Trey Crowder.
But these people have about lost their damn minds because they think that their rights and their beliefs are being threatened. They say, well, I'm just standing up for what I believe. Does that make me a bigot? Well, if what you believe is a bunch of wacky biggity shit, then yeah, it totally does. Look, we all know that you believe these things. We know that you believe it with all of your pre-diabetic hearts. But believing something super hard don't make it any less wrong. My 3-year-old believes that he should get cookies for breakfast every morning. That don't matter to me because he don't know facts, and so what he believes is irrelevant. You can't expect people to respect your beliefs when your beliefs are so completely disrespectful. Which brings me to your rights. Y'all scream, oh, liberals, they care so much about everybody's rights. Well, what about me? Ain't I got rights? Oh, honey, bless your heart. Nobody's trying to take your rights. We're just trying to keep you from doing that to other people. Because I know you're a white person in America, so I can see why you'd think this, but telling other people how to live is actually not a right you have. In fact, if you want to live in a country in which the religious beliefs of the majority dictates the lives and liberties of everybody else, I recommend you try Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, somewhere like that. And I know what you're thinking, oh, they're brown, gross, but check it out. They love screaming, they hate books, they throw rocks at queers, you fit right in.
Now, also, Joe's not with us tonight, and we'll go into that in a little bit. But he did have a couple favorites that he wanted everybody to pay attention to, and I thought we'd bring up Tim Minchin. For those of you who aren't familiar, I believe he's British, isn't he? Yeah.
Yes, he is
I know
British.
him best because of his little atheist, secular style musical bits that he comes up with that he sings along with. His accent is a little thick. I'm going to make sure we post a link for some of those. And then, I don't know. There's so many good ones. Do you guys have a favorite of Tim's?
No, but I love it when he talks about Ginger Minge. That
Yeah! Ginger Minge is hilarious.
cracks me up.
It's so wrong, and it's so right. I just love it.
Oh, gosh.
But he must be relatively popular in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
Because I saw him on a show the other night, and he was on there with Benedict Cumberbatch and
Oh, wow.
David Tennant.
Really?
And yeah, he was on there with a bunch of big, like Dame Judy.
Well, I know that maybe I like him too because he does poke fun at the Queen quite a bit. He does really poke fun at her a lot. I mean, it's funny too because I don't know if nobody knows who Tim Minchin is. When you see him, it's kind of weird at first because he's got this blonde hair that looks like you've been at a big hair 80s rock concert and it's all sweated out and still puffy. And he's got like, the eyeliner and he's fun to look at. He's even funnier to listen to. So yeah, Tim Minchin. We'll have some links for him because it's hard to find parody songs that are really good, I think, for, secular entertainment. It seems like it anyway.
Yep. But he is hilarious.
He is. And then, of course, you have Jeff Jeffries. I think we all are pretty much familiar. He's Australian, I believe. And
I believe so. I'm not sure.
I like Jeff Jeffries, not from his stand-up, but he did a show based off of stand-up, like a series. And one of my favorite ones was where he took his quadriplegic friend to get laid. Now, he has a stand-up routine about that, and then his TV show, they actually did a skit on that. And they literally took him to a whorehouse, his friend, to get him laid. And, of course, the guy's mom was having a fit, because this wasn't like an 18-year-old. This dude was like in his 30s or 40s, I guess. And they wanted to make sure he got laid.
Have you guys ever watched Daniel Tosh?
Yes. Tosh.0.
Yes.
I love that guy, man. Yeah, and he does get controversial. And I don't know if he is on the movement or not, but man, he is funny as shit.
Oh yeah, he definitely doesn't discriminate on his targets at all. Anything and anybody.
I love his shows and his stand-up.
Some of them's pretty good. Some of them I gotta agree is pretty good. There's another show that's pretty good called Little Britain. Are you familiar?
I love Little Britain. Oh my gosh,
have you seen the Come to America one?
Yeah, Little Britain
where
USA,
they're in
yes.
The one where that my boys just die laughing whenever they watch the skit with the two bodybuilders and how eventually they both end up having sex changes. That was so funny.
Oh.
I love the skits where the mommy and the little
Yes.
girl are going somewhere. She's like, I love you more than double-headed dildos.
Mom's horrified.
Oh, I've seen that. I love that show.
It is fantastic. Little Britain, I think, is I can't get. You know what's funny? It's like they kind of remind me of Kids in the Hall, but worse, but way
Yes.
worse, more crass. And I think it's because I think Kids in the Hall was Canadian based, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah, so I think that's
Canadian
why there's a difference in the level of their blue humor. I really do. I think when you get with a British comedy, they tend to be more blue. Way more blue. But yeah, Little Britain, of course the whole nursing of the 45-year-old was kind of disturbing. But if you want to see President Obama getting hit on by an aide, there you go. I'll just leave it at that. It's hilarious. Well, an impersonator.
Is it possible for me to mention a final suspect who hasn't really come out as secular or humanist or atheist or agnostic, but wouldn't you think President Obama might be one of the better entertainers of our time, too?
I gotta say, I think President Obama is religious, but I think he can be secular in the way he does his job. And
Really?
I completely am cool with that. I mean, I'm serious.
Absolutely.
I really do feel that he is religious. I don't think he hears voices and prays on decisions, but I do think he's spiritual. And I do believe that you can be religious and be secular in how you do your job. And I think
Absolutely.
he very much epitomizes, and maybe that's because of the Harvard Law School with constitutional law and whatnot.
Right.
He gets it more than most, I think. So,
Well, I mean, they had this the big gathering of reason rally, and I'm pretty sure that there were not only agnostics and atheists, but I'm pretty sure there were some people of faith there who may have just simply believed in the separation of church and state.
oh, absolutely. My free think group up here in the Tri-County area, we have Christians, we have secularists, agnostics, anarchists. We've got, I think, one Muslim right now, because that's a really hard group to break into. But yeah, we have a big mix of people because all we're asking for people to do is just be secular and agree that church and state should be separated. And we actually have quite a few who are religious within our free think group, and we got 1,000
Right.
members. So it's very possible. So yeah, I think President Obama, he definitely has a good sense of humor. Completely agree. I think his wife does too. She's got to have a sense of humor with being the
Yes, she
president's
does.
wife.
They both do. They really are. They're very personable.
Yeah, very much so. More so than I think some past presidents. I find them more approachable. And when you look at all of that, I think sometimes, yeah, he's maybe injected himself into things he shouldn't have, on the public realm.
I
A little
agree.
too much, but overall, I think he's got a very good sense of humor. He does take his job seriously. I think people misinterpret his coolness with things, his relaxed approach, as being flippant and not caring, and that's not the case at all. He takes things very seriously.
All right, guys. Well, we got, is there anybody else to mention?
Stuart Huff. And I only want to mention him because he's on tour. He's been all through Nashville, Knoxville, Cincinnati, Dayton, Indianapolis. He's been all over the states, all the way out to California. He markets himself as agnostic. He's very much an atheist, in my opinion. And I like it because he brings up history in his comedy. And because he's from Kentucky, he's got the whole redneck hillbilly accent and attitudes going on.
Sweet.
He'll bring up history. Like, for example, I'm going to play part of his clip next regarding writing a book back in the old medieval days about how the human body works and how you shouldn't do that. So we'll end this segment that you're all listening to on comedy with Stuart Huff. He has the whole set and multiple others for sale on his website. I'll have a link for all of that, along with all the other people we've mentioned tonight. Check him out. Hope you enjoy this clip, and we will catch you in the next segment, everybody.
I gotta look forward to it. Let's roll.
Let's roll it.
1689, Kazimierz. This is my favorite dude. He was a Polish philosopher and freethinker. Holy fuck, he's a dead man. That's the trifecta right there. You're a philosopher, a freethinker, and Polish? Shit, that's unassisted suicide. Discovery Channel claims the most dangerous job in the world is crab fisherman. Bullshit. Historically, it's freethinker. Big thinking free, motherfucker.
Welcome back, everybody. And in this segment, you're going to hear me cry and complain. I didn't get to enjoy the free ride to Reason Rally this past weekend.
Oh, you're not the only one.
Oh, my gosh. Man, we missed out on a love fest, did we not?
Yeah,
Yes.
we did. I'm so jelly seeing everybody's pictures and feeling all the love come through that I didn't get to be part of.
Oh, I know. And I mean, I like I was telling you guys earlier for the show, that the stupid, I'm sure all of you realize on Facebook now we can react to all the different little cool events that we see happen. And I think I handed out so many heart icons. It'll probably make up for the whole year. So many cool things, because I mean, look at all the people that were there. I mean, almost like at least 30 core members of my Tri-State Free Think family attended. They went up there. Adam Collins was there, of course. Callie was there.
Bobby
White.
C and Miss Ashley were there.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, Human was there.
Trav was there. Trav Mamone.
Yeah.
Dylan
James
Hunty
Randy
and
Yeah.
Aaron Raw.
Yeah, Aaron, Bill Nye the Science Guy was also there. I felt like, oh my gosh. Lawrence Krause was there.
Yeah.
James
I'm
Randy.
so upset. I mean, Lawrence was like out in the crowd with people. I could have actually gotten my arms around him.
Did you see the trifecta picture with Krause, Randy, and Nye?
Yeah. Now, Krause and I have hung out quite a few times at some of those things with Neil deGrasse Tyson, but it was cool seeing Randy there with them because I love James Randy. I was telling someone about him tonight. You know how he has that $1 million offer, isn't it?
Yeah, he has that
$1 million prove your psychic ability offer, which that's been standing for almost 25 years now.
Yeah, almost.
It's been a minute.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and he's busted some serious people and that stuff too. They actually were dumb enough to take him up on it on like national TV. That was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to
to
post a
check
link
that
to
out.
one of his more famous ones. I'm going to have a link to one of his most famous ones because there's this guy. He went to prison. He got out. I don't want to sound. I don't know how to say this and sound politically correct, but he's an everyday white guy, like you, Adam, and. But it's weird. You ever listen to that Ziggy Stardust song where he's talking about the screwed down eyes and screwed down hairdo?
Yeah.
Like some man from Japan?
Yeah.
That's how this guy would dress. And he had on the whole kung fu outfit and stuff, and he claimed he could like move papers with his mind and pencils and all this other stuff. So Randy put him to the test on national TV. This dude was making like hand over fist in money. And he made the mistake of going on national TV and letting Randy test him. And Randy was a former illusionist. He knows all about this stuff. And yeah, he totally just ruined this guy on TV. It was awesome. So, I've just always enjoyed Randy a lot. He's amazing, amazing man. He's got that institute, too. The Randy Institute.
Yeah, the James Randy Institute.
Yeah, he's something else. I'm going to be upset when he passes, because I've always saw him as a staple in the skeptic community. Not about being an atheist, just be skeptical, and he was always good about showing that and demonstrating that. So, I kind of hope that, Penn Jillette would do something
Who
like
the
that,
hell is eating something?
Nobody?
Yeah, it's you. I knew it.
No, I'm not eating anything.
You sure?
Did you take some
Positive.
medication?
No.
Well, we heard sound like M&Ms or pills in a bottle rolling around. I heard it. I know I'm not crazy. And my
I know
pills
I'm
are
not
for the
crazy.
rest.
I heard that shit too.
Cat
Sharon,
went and knocked something
Sharon, put the bag of chips down.
over. Are you saying I'm fat?
No, ma'am. I'm saying put the bag of chips down.
You guys are such shitheads. But yeah, man, you see all of these awesome people at Reason Rally, and it's like I was set to go, and I ended up refunding all my stuff back a month ago because I couldn't get medical clearance. It's just a real bummer. I had people who were going to kidnap me and take me, but I couldn't go.
That would have been nice to be
I know,
kidnapped.
right? We could have thrown our cards all over Washington. We could have made it rain on Lincoln, man.
Could have left a card in Lincoln's lap.
Oh, baby, you know I would. And then you saw how many people were getting trophy shots with Ray Comfort, right?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Comfort is not looking healthy either. Have you seen him?
Yeah, he didn't look too
I think
vigorous.
he usually has Kirk Cameron's makeup artist on hand, and I guess Kirk, because he wasn't there, the makeup artist wasn't either. That man, I thought I needed a spackle thingy. You know how I was kind of bothered by the whole spatula thing in my foundation?
Yeah.
I think he seriously He needs some spackle. He needs some wall mud. Probably more than I do. But yeah, I mean, people are getting trophy shots with great comfort.
Right around 2003, I got sent up to D.C. on a business trip. And I got to spend about 7 hours around the mall and the White House and all of that. And I got through the mall, and it was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I was walking back to my car, and I noticed that all the cars that were parked on the side of the mall were gone, and there was a tow truck parked up in front of a car in front of mine. And I kind of started jogging towards my car, and I jumped in and fired it up. And the guy there was a I don't know, I guess a ticket guy there, and he was shaking his finger at me, and I just took off. And when I took off, I noticed there was a letter under my on the windshield, and I pulled it off thinking it was a standard parking ticket, $25-$30.
Yeah.
It was $100 damn.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
And that was in 2003.
Yeah. You imagine how much it is now? Oh my gosh. And you know, DC holds a special place for me. That's where I saw my first homeless person.
Oh, really?
For real. First homeless person I ever physically encountered. I was 11 years old. That's how sheltered of a life I lived, right?
Wow.
Get off the bus on a tour. We go sit down at they have the food stands all along there, and you can get food and whatnot. Now, the homeless will harass those booths just to try and be given food to make them leave. So, I watched this go down after my dad had brought me my food. I felt so bad for this dude because it's like 90-degree weather in the summer of July. And I ended up leaving my pizza halfway eaten in the trash on top, just so hoping he'd get it so he could eat. I never forgot that. Ever since then, I've always been working with, I'm serious. Ever since then, I've seriously always tried to help with, food drives for the homeless and whatnot. All because of that one encounter.
You can come down to Nashville all you want. We got all the homeless people you want to see.
Oh, we do too. We've got camps underneath a lot of our overpasses here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we got those camps up there, and it's, and you see how Cincinnati can be. Hell, even some of the churches out here were trying to put, water systems to spray people and whatnot if they slept on the steps. And I'm thinking, you're a church. Why wouldn't you let people sleep there?
It's crazy.
And how many, did you have to sign any petitions while you were there?
No.
In Washington, D.C.?
Oh,
no,
wow.
But we went a couple of summers ago with the kids, and we were approached by several people asking to sign petitions for different things.
I wonder how legitimate those are.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I wonder how legitimate those were. Because they even approached me, and this was back in 1990.
Oh, yeah, you always have activists
me.
running around down there trying to get you to sign something.
I know, but if you're only 11, 12, 13 years old, I mean, how legitimate can your signature be on a petition? I guess they don't care, but yeah, so our godless heathenness descended on Reason rally this past weekend. I mean, David Silverman was there, of course. I don't even know who officially was sponsoring it. I think American Atheists was a big sponsor of it, weren't they?
I'm not sure. I tried to figure it out, but it didn't say. And I read that article that Hemet wrote, and it didn't say exactly who sponsored it. It said it was a big undertaking, whoever did sponsor it, so I'm not sure.
I need to find out, see if we can get them on the show. To find out just what it takes to put something like that together. I like how their main
target was just not being atheist. It was all of the everybody's welcome that's not religious aspect. And
acceptance,
yes.
Right? Yeah, and I think that's what the core message was, because you said there was 10 or 20,000 people.
Right.
Yeah, 10 to 20,000. Him said the first year it was 30,000.
Yeah.
So this year was this time it was significantly less.
Do you think there was a fallout maybe from the whole thing with people saying that the organizers might have been playing favorites towards certain minority groups?
I don't know. After reading that article, I think that it had a lot to do with just the middle of the road message that the people who put it on gave out, that everybody was welcome. It was not as polarized as it had been in the past, and so people weren't as enticed to come because it was so middle of the road.
You think that might be what it was? That kind of
I
sucks.
think so.
That kind of sucks, though, in a way. If it's got to be a big controversial thing, I kind of looked at it as like a NanoCon on steroids, meth, and every other caffeine monster.
Yeah.
Energy, man. Just to be able to associate in big groups like that with a lot of other causes, and so many big voices were there. I was really surprised, with how didn't turn out as big of numbers. But then again, too, it's the time of year. People might be rather go on their regular family vacations than this. I don't know.
Yeah,
so.
and I said that a lot of because school is out, it is the summer. There's a lot of it's a lot more difficult to get students involved because they're not regularly in school, and so it's trying to round everybody up during the summer. So students weren't able to be as active and bring as many people as they normally would have.
Yeah, that's probably a big part of it. Well, either way, though.
That was my thought, too.
Well, there's a lot of memories that have been made, and it looks like they had a really, really good lineup of speakers. They had Wu-Tang Clan there performing as well. Was it Shelley? Not Shelley. What's her name?
Seagal.
Was it Shelley Seagal? Was I thinking of the right name? She was there.
Yeah, Shelley
Seagal. So many big names. I'm looking forward to the highlights from it.
And they were passing out literature for ReasonCon in Hickory, North Carolina. So I'm looking forward to that.
When's that one? Maybe I can get to that one.
Oh gosh, I forgot the date.
I'll have to look it up and see.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out. I know I need to get to another convention because it's been 3 months since March and NanoCon, and my heart's starting to feel a little empty. Yeah. I need a recharge big time. And I think we all like to have those happy moments with like-minded community members. And speaking of community members, we got a big news in the next segment too.
About a brand new community member.
Yes, I know. I can't wait. So we'll see about posting up and linking in some folks, see if we can get some interviews from people that were at ReasonCon. Maybe they can talk to us about, or Reason Rally, I should say. Give us some highlights and whatnot about their events there and whatnot. And be a good time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, let's get on to the next one. This next segment's going to make everybody all excited. Because who doesn't love babies? Especially if you're an atheist, right?
Yeah, they're delicious.
All right. See you in the next one, guys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome to the world the very newest member of the atheist community, baby Ronnie K. Kendick.
Woohoo!
She was born today at 10 a.m. She weighed 5 pounds. How much, Kate?
11 ounces.
11 ounces. And
20 inches long.
20 inches long. And
that's the baby, though. That's the baby,
didn't
not
pass
Joe.
It. Yeah. Baby's 20 inches long. Not the daddy. Don't get your hopes up. And mom and babe are doing well, and I think from all we've heard, dad survived the birth, unlike
barely.
Unlike my first husband, who passed out whenever the baby was born, and I had to do all the hard work by myself.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think the reason why he survives because they had a wonderful, wonderful staff on hand over at Springfield. They took really good care. We got to give props to the nurses and the midwives and
absolutely
everybody involved. Man, they helped because it wasn't an easy labor, from what we understand. We can't give out all the details, but mom's doing good.
Oh my God, have you seen Joe's big fat head? I mean, seriously, that happened today.
Yeah.
What big fat head?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that baby looks just like Joe. I couldn't get over that.
I think the baby looks like a potato because all babies look like potatoes. But
and you like to eat potatoes, and we're atheists and we eat babies. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a baby roast.
Potato baby.
Somebody grab the sour cream.
Some butter, bacon bits, bacon.
So we have some advice for both father and daughter that we like to give out. And
Really?
first being, Joe, we know you like to wear kilts. You no longer can go regimental because the baby will be crawling in a year. And they like to grab anything that hangs down. So
Yeah, exactly.
keep your piece covered, or it might not be.
Keep the tackle boxed up.
Yeah, keep the tackle box tackled.
Well, okay, I'll go for it. I'm just happy that I can walk down the road with Joe from now on, and instead of people asking me why is he wearing a skirt, and I offer him for, I tell him for $20 he'll do what you want. I can just now look at him at people and tell him he has a daughter and he's just trying to make her happy.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh. Gonna already teach him how to use the kid card, huh?
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. I'm like we were all saying earlier about this whole nihilism and anarchy thing. My advice to the baby is this. If daddy's not saying what you want to hear, you can go, la, 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 this isn't real. This isn't real. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this is going to translate. How much of an anarchist does he want to raise? And what authority does she have to respect? I don't know how well that'll go well.
It ought to be interesting, that's for sure. And as far as when you grow up, baby Ronnie Kate, because I know how much Joe loved the name I came up with, remember that your dad has done anything that you could possibly think about doing. Your dad is a freak, and it's okay if you're a freak too.
Oh, and he's already figured out how to time travel back in time, and he's already shot and killed all of the parents that will potentially have boyfriends that will break your heart. So,
yep.
Oh, man, it reminds me of the Mother's Curse. Did y'all ever hear that one?
Oh
no, but I'm sure you're going to tell us.
What's the Mother's Curse?
Oh, yeah, it's when your mom tells you, well, I mean, it's whatever, she's had enough of you, your mother looks at you and says, I invoke the Mother's Curse. And that is that she wishes upon you to have a child that's twice as bad as you are.
Yeah. I've had that one. I haven't had one like that yet, though. And I can't anymore either. So I think I'm almost in the clear.
I don't know. My kids are giving it a run for their money. I was pretty tame until I was about 16. Then I broke wild in all sorts of ways. So I've still got a couple years to go before my kids can.
5-1 says Joe has to deal with TSA, the FBI, and the CIA before this kid turns 15.
Oh man!
Probably as smart as Joe is, she'll be. Have you seen that show Scorpions?
No.
Yes.
What's it about?
It's about these geniuses, or would you say genii?
Is that what that is, plural?
Yeah, that's the plural of geniuses.
I like geniuses better.
Going on a magic carpet ride.
Anyway, the main character gets arrested by the FBI before he's 7 for downloading the plans for the Apollo spacecraft.
Oh. And
he ends up working for the FBI when he gets older because he has a record with them, but he's so smart. That's the way this kid's going to be.
Yeah.
Joe's so smart. This kid's
I see
gonna
that
be
happening.
He could start
arrested.
Yeah, he could start training her for Mensa now.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, yeah.
He'd totally start her now. I bet he would if he could. He's going to have so much fun. I'm just interested to see what kind of evil pranks he gets her to do on his behalf for like a quarter. You know? I just
they
awesome
should seriously
moments.
not have any chemicals under the kitchen sink because this kid will, be causing some major damage.
Or no, you know what's going to happen. He'll end up getting her own Xbox and TV for her room. And by the time she's 7, she'll be playing too. He won't know that's her in the room. And while he's cussing a kid out on the game, getting his ass kicked by a little kid, he won't realize it's his daughter next door. That's what's going to happen.
It's going to be little Rodney Kate in the room kicking his ass.
Stacks of Anarchy. Here we go. She's awesome. I can tell she's going to be awesome. I always have faith in kids just turning out so great because they really... I just don't see how kids can really go wrong completely. It's such a rare thing. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I truly agree. But then again, you have this child that can't go wrong that has to look up to Joe. God.
Well, but you know what though? I don't see Joe being somebody who's going to be like I don't see him being one of those parents that says, "Do as I say, not as I do." And if he leads by example, he's going to be an awesome dad, and she's going to turn out just fine.
Oh yeah, she'll be fine.
Yeah,
he's going to make a great dad. Now, here's the question. How is he going to... I'm sure that... Well, we all know that his wife is Christian, and he is not. So I wonder how the kid is going to be raised and how he's going to nullify anything that she might learn in Sunday school.
She is, though, accepting of his views, right?
Yeah, she is.
Well, you know what, though? I know people who start off their marriages this way, like, they're opposite ends, and they were cool, and then the child is actually what made them butt heads. Something like changes. I've had moms where, they were cool with it, and then once the child was old enough to start going to church, the mom actually, something like a flip switches, and they start having this whole, oh my God, I don't want my child to be in hell, and da-da-da-da, and they like go psychotic. I mean, I would hate to think his wife would be that way. She sounds like one really wonderful, understanding, patient woman. I mean, look who she's married to. Christ.
I know, she has to be all those things.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe that's something, down the road, Joe can kind of enlighten us on his little journey with that, how those discussions go. And I imagine she'll let him have the other side of the coin for discussion. And if you at least get to have that discussion with your child regularly, you know what I mean? You keep it fair.
Yeah.
I think it'll be all right. Should be. Maybe. I don't know.
And then there are those external forces that may come in from the grandparents.
Yeah. I wonder. Or fellow podcast members. Ha 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 ha.
Uncle Adam, Auntie Sharon, Auntie Kate.
Yeah, we're totally good influence, I promise. Her first Halloween outfit, though, we really need to send, like, a stuffed cauldron with potatoes and stuff in it, and she can just wear it with a lid. That'd be awesome. They make little ones like that. They're not like actual metal. You know what I mean? They're made out of fabric and whatnot, and yeah. So imagine instead of her being in a pumpkin outfit, it's like, a cooking pot. That would be hilarious.
That would be funny.
Should totally do that.
In a lobster outfit in the cooking pot.
Yeah, that'd be so cute.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
We want our baby back ribs.
Yeah, we do.
Baby back, baby back, baby back.
I knew that was coming.
I love my baby back, baby back, baby back.
Oh gosh!
All right,
congratulations to
Get
Joe
in my belly.
Congratulations, Joe. We love you.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll hear from him next week on the awesome adventures in parenting and diaper changes and all that good stuff.
I just hope this kid pisses all over him.
That's a guarantee.
Oh, it's a girl.
It's a guarantee.
It's a girl.
All right, guys. Well, you all have a good week,
folks.
and we will catch up with y'all next week. Now please bow your heads for the new atheist prayer. To the mortally created Father in heaven, I decided to forego your name. Your kingdom was false. Your will was non-existent on earth and even in the stories I heard of heaven. Every day I earn my family's bread. I work hard to have my wrongs forgiven and hope I am shown compassion in return as I show to everyone that has wronged me. I no longer let your promises lead me into irrational decisions, as I understand I only have myself to blame. Ramen.